Hello.
Hey Dryden, how you doing, man?
How you doing, brother?
I am fantastic. Thank you for joining me.
Cheers.
Now, you got to be excited. It's like you've got the holidays and then an Australian tour. The two go together perfect.
Do they?
They have to.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I'm excited to I wish we'd have been there a few more times than what it's turned out to be, it's taken long enough. I always wondered why we didn't creep on back over there, just with more, I don't know, just at least a half a dozen times would have felt more appropriate. But yeah, I'm excited to come out.
Now you've got your new touring partners in Drowning Pool with you, and you've got a bit of history because you did tour with Ryan and Soil back in the day. So, um, are you familiar with the band as a whole? I know the music's pretty undeniable, but do you know the guys from touring in the past?
Yeah, we grew up in that same little alumni, you know what I mean? So sharing radio festivals and all and backstage dressing rooms and that kind of thing is, I know uh those guys fairly well, it's like years go by and you see each other and then you kind of I don't know how much we hang out, but we definitely have like in passing we get along fairly well. I think it'll be a good experience. I dig that band. We're different enough to where I think it's a cool package too, So
It's actually a really amazing package. I think there's going to be something there for everyone. So it's classed as co-headlining, but are you guys going to end the night or are you going to switch it out?
I don't even really know. I mean, we're not a rock star band, so where we're definitely down to support or close it out, dude. We kind of go there and do what's asked of us, I guess you would say.
Yep.
We have no qualms opening or closing a set. So yeah, I mean, we could hash it out and see what the guys want to do. Maybe it's already decided and unbeknownst to me or you, so I'm not quite sure.
Okay, cool. Now, this year you actually put out an amazing new record, and it's funny that when you go back and you look at old interviews from Alien Ant Farm, there's talk about new metal, there's so many different sort of labels. Um,
Mhm.
I'm going to give you a label. You made a good fucking record.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, I mean, we took long enough, so it should be good. I would expect, bands that I guess know how to do this thing would given enough time should be able to produce something cool. But it doesn't always go that way too, Sometimes, you feel like riding a bike is just riding a bike, and then,
Yep.
you sit there with the pen in your hand, and I just think of like, well, um, that first record we did came from a totally different place and time. So yeah, it's fun to flex that muscle and see if there's curiosity in the band. Again, sometimes you write a great record. I've seen bands put out some of their best material um years later, and it's to a lukewarm audience. You know what I mean? I guess, sometimes you just like who knows why these things catch fire. Sometimes it's a label throwing tons of money at it, and sometimes it's just like this organic thing where, hey, you got it, this song is undeniable. And but yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that Mantras record. It feels very new to me. Obviously, it's just because new songs, but it also feels like an homage to the band. I've had spent enough time kind of away from it a little bit, and I'm just when it came down to making these songs, I recall just kind of listening to my younger self, and I in a weird way I want to channel some of that, and it felt like it was listening to another guy in a weird way, just part of me was trying to do exactly what I would do now, and part of me would just go back and think of like what would a younger me do for this chorus, which is kind of cool. I felt like I was covering Alien Ant Farm in a weird way.
I can actually agree with that to a certain extent, especially with Last Dance. To me, it's like a modern day movies.
Yeah,
The,
well, it's fun. It's funny you say that. I don't know. It is to me too, as well as is. I remember when we were more of a metal. I don't know what we were when we first started, but we got hooked up with this guy named Jim Wirt, who had done like the Incubus Science record. He did a lot of cool, random, weird, wonderful music. And when we met Jim, he said, you guys are interesting, but you don't have that one, like you don't have that song. I don't even know what the style is yet. You guys are kind of jazzy and metal and a little prog, and we didn't really know where we sat. And he told us to go write a what our version of a huge pop song, and we wrote movies. And I feel like Last Dance is another kind of go away and what would be our version of a big bad rock and
Yep.
roll song. And so yeah, I feel like Last Dance, I don't know if it's my favorite on the record. Maybe it feels that way, but I also feel like it is that exactly what you said. Just
Yeah.
another version of a big old balmy pop song, rock song. You know?
Yeah, it's got that breakup song vibe to it as well, which all the big, huge pop rock songs were back in the day. There was a certain FU attitude to them with hey, fuck off, but don't go too far away.
Yeah, I mean, well, love and hate, push and pull. I mean,
Yep.
that when it comes down to it, are you living or are you dying? And let's talk about it. I mean, that's really like it sounds so silly to break it down like that, but it almost is like an ebb and flow.
Yep.
There isn't a whole lot of subjects, and if you do wander off and you get a little too philosophical or smart, for lack of a better word, because I can kind of go down that writing rabbit hole all day long and come up with the most witty quips imaginable. And then at the end of it, I go, this just is a little too convoluted and doesn't make it for a great pop song. So yeah, anyways,
Yeah. I've got to actually ask, is there a reason there are two versions of the movie's film clip?
the
So,
movie,
yeah, there's two
the
different videos made for movies.
there's a few videos, but yeah, movies was weird because we started it with a single. It was our first single, and then Smooth Criminal came and eclipsed that big time, you know.
Yep.
And so we made the video. Then Smooth Criminal came, push from our label was like unbeknownst to us. It kind of got thrown out as a single. Was not really our intention. For us, we weren't really going that route. And I think that radio stations maybe got sick of Smooth Criminal, so they went back to movies in this weird. A lot of DJs just on their own. It kind of resurrected movies and gave it a second life, which was really cool. And when that happened, we kind of pounced and said, well, it's almost organically becoming a single again. Maybe we should do like the big budget kind of
Yep.
video for it. So that's kind of how that second one sprouted.
Okay, cool. And you've got the new single on this new album, Storms. Now,
Storm's over, yeah.
people really need to go have a good listen to this because in 2024, it's a very poignant song.
Oh,
Um,
that's cool.
what was going through your mind when you sat down to do that one?
At that moment, I don't know, just trying to, I had the acoustic guitar kind of riff just on loop, I guess. And I just had this drony feel. I mean, it doesn't really, the song doesn't get big until the end, and I felt like it that in itself had this feel of like a storm is coming kind of
Yep.
thing, you know. And so even wanted to keep the vocal kind of monotone, and no 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 no. It's like
Yep.
and maybe not give it away. The song doesn't have a chorus at all. There's no chorus. I think it's a verse, a rad pre, some hooky, almost like it never quite gets to a real actual chorus, which I think is amazing too. And in the sense of almost too, when you hear like uh weather forecasts, never quite,
Yep. Then
it's almost they want to romanticize the tragedy that's about to happen. It seems
yeah.
like, fortunately it never does. Sometimes it does. But anyways, there's some pun in there, but as far as, what I was thinking of, again, that push and pull, that relationship could be, you know, it could be singular, it could be I don't know, it could be Democrat, Republican, it could be a girl, a guy, it could be
Yep.
a few different scenarios, and I kind of left it a little vague. I think the verses are personal about calling the cops or some shit, which never happened for me personally. I just again kind of went down this story of a situation that's
Yeah,
potentially someone's life. Someone might hear that and go, "Wow, I have gotten that fucked up before." Where it's weird how we treat the ones we love the worst sometimes.
yeah,
That's it.
true. Now, we've been lucky enough to spend some time with the guys in STP over the years, and you have a great connection with the
Yeah.
DeLeo brothers. What are your memories of working with the two of them?
Just a lot being intimidated quite a bit in the very, very beginnings, but they're such like humorous and gentle, warm guys that it that went away fairly quickly. Then I'd remember who they were at the same time. I'd be in the vocal booth, kind of feeling a little inferior to, I mean, it's Scott Weiland and it's Robert and Dean and all this history, and
Yeah,
then like feeling like this little kid from Riverside is not up to par, and they a lot of just a lot of great memories, man. We back to I mentioned Incubus earlier, but they had recorded a record called Morning View,
yeah,
and that Morning View is the name of the house that they did that at, and we did our pre-production at Morning View. We didn't record the record there, but we stayed there for a couple months, and so I have a lot of memories of being in this crazy Malibu mansion, I guess. Again, just feeling like this kid, not undeserving of all this cool stuff that was happening around me. It was a weird and wonderful time just to be in that house, and also a little nerve wracking because of the Leos, and nerve wracking because it was our second record. Like what are you gonna do?
yeah,
After the cover song kind of thing, and you know, eh, just a lot of weird pressure. I feel like maybe we put on ourselves. Which now the older I get, I was like, damn, you should have enjoyed that a little more than feeling like you had to like, pull a rabbit out of a hat kind of thing.
yeah,
Again, like I said earlier, you never really know what's going to spark something. You could write the greatest record of all time, and it might not be for the time. It might not be, just
yeah,
pushed right from a label's perspective. Who knows? So we just kind of like you got to take a swing, and hopefully you hit a double, a triple, home run, whatever
yeah.
whatever you can get out of it.
Cool. You're down here, as I said, soon. What can the fans expect from the Alien Ant Farm side of the tour?
Well, we've done two long runs, one in the U.S., actually three long runs, two in the U.S. and one in the U.K. and I feel like we're tight, man. There's certain weird days. It's hard, like me being 48, trying to sing like a 23-year-old is crazy, but we've been. I feel like we're on it, and so it is all about the music. We're just trying to recreate some special memory for someone. It's a cool time. It's a night to get out and kind of maybe this is somewhat part of someone's summer record in their high school days or something. We want to try and like make that cool.
Awesome, man. So, Dryden, have a great holiday season. We
Yeah.
will see you. It's a great double bill. There's just going to be so much energy in the Aussie venues, and we will see you very, very soon.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, bro.
Thank you, too. See you soon.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Cheers. Cheers, brother.